Good. You want today as Tuesday, May 6th, 2025, your day for Wednesday the 7th. All right, let's go. With no setups going into tomorrow, the Shayla keeps catching my eye. We'll take a look at that. And just 1 second, go ahead and bump your stop a little on the TFPM. Here's the Yala. Longer term, looks like it's a bottom in place. It will have a little bit of resistance longer term, too, but not too bad. I think if conditions were better, I might go after this one, but let's just see how it shakes out. Maybe if it pulls back a little more deeply, it might be a little bit less risky at this juncture. It's had quite the run from lows. Anyway, let's take a look, and nothing else is really worth going after at this juncture. Let's take a look at the portfolio, and then we'll pop out to the overall market, obviously. Flatsville and CCL. Longer term still looks like it's in trouble. You know, routine, though, one day at a time. And honor your stop. Decent day at TFPM. Looks like the golds are trying to take off once again. Let's take a look at the overall market and drill down a little bit. It's kind of interesting, as I've kind of alluded to in the group or earlier today. It's crazy. Like, some stocks are really going straight up in here, some super speculative issues, but other issues are getting just absolutely hammered. So it's a crazy environment at this juncture. Anyway, P's gap lower. Let's take a look at the spiders. P's gap lower, rally, but then came back in. So that's kind of a bit of a bummer. It doesn't look like a market that just wants to go straight back up. Every time we seem to get a little bit of a rally, it gets hit a little. But you know the routine. Again, here comes one day at a time. The 200-day moving average, which corresponds to this prior peak, is going to continue to be resistance, and the top of that peak is below the overhead supply. So it's got its work cut out for it. Obviously, it has been improving, but again, it has its work cut out for it. Take a look at NASDAQ. Same sort of action happening there too, below the 200-day simple moving average, not too far from resistance here. And then, of course, the overhead supply. Rusty 2000, kind of same as it ever was. So far, just pulling back. It's made it back to the 50, but that's nothing to get excited about just yet. EFA shares coming in a little bit. So far, though, holding their breakout. Very impressive that they're holding this high levels because they're so darn overbought. Take a look at gold commodity. Bam, brand new or just shy of a brand new closing high there. So that's pretty impressive. Gold stocks following suit nicely, rallying out of a pullback. Some areas got creamed in here today. Take a look at biotech just imploding out of a pullback. So that's looking fairly ugly. Major drugs weren't spared either. They sold off really, really hard. So here's another case of a market that looks like it really wanted to bottom out and take off, and nope, turned right back down. And that's the type of environment we are in. And it's probably a good environment to mostly sit on your hands, as we have been doing for the most part. As you go through most sectors, most sort of look like the market itself. We could get bow ties to the upside in a lot of these areas, but I wouldn't get too excited about that just yet. I'm less excited about a bow tie at mid levels than I am when it's coming off of all-time highs or extremely low levels. But it is a momentum indicator nonetheless. Anyway, the semiconductors started weak and tried to rally, came off their best levels. So far, they and most other areas just look like they're in retrace mode. In other words, a downtrend, so far at least, remained intact. In some areas, like health services, began to implode once again, selling out hard out of those choppy pullbacks. Retail down a little, trying to bottom out shorter term, but still looks questionable longer term. So not a whole lot has changed just yet. Let's take things, again, I hate to keep beating the dead horse, but let's continue to take things one day at a time and listen to what the database is telling us. Everybody have a great night. If you have any questions, you know the routine. Thank you so much.